In the heart of Texas, a tradition blossomed, one that encompasses the essence of the Lone Star State, where everything is indeed bigger.
This is just the place where the idea really grew up.
What started as a simple token of affection from a teen boy to his girl evolved into a tradition of mammoth proportions.
I've had mums before, I've just never had them this big.
Homecoming mums today are more than just accessories. They're a statement.
It comes from your heart.
Each one tells a story with charms and trinkets chosen to represent the passions and dreams of the person who wears it.
I think it's one day where you get to show out and really everyone gets to see like all the work you put in. I think it's really cool.
The cherished tradition is now more inclusive than it's ever been, welcoming people from all walks of life and celebrating the diversity of Texas.
Just really fun to see the kids get into it.
Also taking root, a boom of women-owned small businesses all across the state, so-called MumMoms who tend to the tradition.
What else would I be doing? Bored, sitting there twiddling my thumb.
In this KHU 11 Plus special, we'll explore the fascinating world of homecoming moms, a Texas-sized tradition that's as vibrant as the people who create and wear them. Hey there, I'm Brandy Smith. I am admittedly not a native Texan. As the saying goes, I wasn't born here, but I got here as fast as I could. That ended up being long after high school. So like so many other Texas transplants, I found out about the tradition of homecoming mums when I moved here. And what a tradition it is. Look up homecoming mums on social media, and these are the kinds of posts you'll turn up.
How much was it? Over $500.
High school girls from one end of Texas to the other, showing off their monstrosities, which can come with a steep price.
Alexis, how much were your mums?
One was $150, $875, and $75.
The videos document what goes into making a mom.
So this is just my kind of basic version.
And celebrate the final product through reveals, dances, parades, or simply showing them all off.
And that is how we do high school football in the great state of Texas.
All right, everybody have a seat, quiet down, let's pick up.
Some poke fun at the tradition.
Quiet down, please.
As individual as each post is, they all come together to illustrate something that's about more than just bells and bows.
In Texas, homecoming moms are the perfect example of us wearing our hearts on our sleeves.
That's Amy Schultz, the woman who literally wrote the book on mums.
I think people who grew up with the tradition and value it from a young age understand this, but a mom is not one day. A mom is the anticipation of the mom, but then after that, the mom lives on the kid's wall in their bedroom.
Momentous is full of original photos and mostly true stories about this super-sized high school institution.
How did this start?
Well, I always feel like I want to ask you, do you want the short version or the long version?
Oh, I always want the long version.
Okay, great. So I spent about a summer digging into old newspapers from not just from across Texas, but across the country. What was interesting to me was to go all the way back. And so I took different tracks. I looked at the start of football in America.
This is back in the 1910s and 1920s when social conventions were very formal. An invitation to, say, a dance typically included a corsage for the ladies.
During this time in our country's history, chrysanthemums were all the rage. Like brides were using them for their bridal bouquets, and they're a fall flower that bloom and they're super hardy.
Along the way, homecoming became a fall mainstay at high schools.
And so it was a natural marriage of football, dating conventions, and floral availability.
Flash forward to the 1950s and 60s when Texas experienced a huge population boom. Florists couldn't fill all the orders with live mums, so they got the idea to make them out of artificial materials in advance.
Well, then what started happening is the DIY movement, when large retail box stores started popping up. Well, guess where they started? In Texas. So Michael's was founded in Texas in the 70s. And then Hobby Lobby's headquarters is in Oklahoma City. So the supply chain of artificial flowers basically started in North Texas.
That's when mums met moms, armed with hot glue guns and the mantra that everything's bigger in Texas.
That's a real call to action for Texans. It's a challenge, but also a reality that we embrace wholeheartedly in lighthearted, beautiful, unique ways that is just not true in other states. And so then that's the cultural influence on homecoming moms is, why wouldn't we see how big we could make a mom? We're Texans, that's what we do.
Before we go any further, let's take a look at the anatomy of a mom with the help of experienced mum maker Mary Brosh.
So this chrysanthemum flower, it's silk. These are toppers, and this is the mum backing. So you'll put your ribbons here. This is the tails or foundation layer. And then you have bubble loop ribbon, and this is typically where you put the name or homecoming or the school. These are accent ribbons. A lot of people like the feather boas. Here is the bell, traditional Texas thing. A lot of the kids love bubbles. And then you have throughout these little trinkets hidden all in the mum. Rainbows, stars. This is where you get into the personalization, classier, just different things.
Garters are the smaller version, usually for guys, but these days girls sport them too. If a mum is the evolution of the corsage, these are the evolution of the boutonniere. They're typically worn on the arm like this one, or pinned to a backpack.
My very first time I saw a mom, I was like, what the heck is that?
On homecoming day, those ribbons, flowers, boas, and of course bells bring new life to the hallways of Cinco Ranch High School in Katy.
Lively, a little louder than normal. You can feel the energy. It's different. The kids they want everyone to see their moms. We want to see them, and it's just, they show them off to each other.
Every school has, we'll call them guidelines for the mums and garters.
Freshman and sophomore are usually maroon and white, and then once it gets bigger as the grades go up and up, and the junior is silver, and then like the senior is gold, pink, however they want to style it.
They are huge, and that's when you put on all the bells and whistles and all the lights, and it's an excuse to kind of dress up and have fun.
I think it's a good Texas tradition, like especially for seniors, to have bigger mums to express like their seniority and stuff. But I think it's just to show like the Texas tradition.
Another trademark of Cinco Ranch moms are the bears, smack dab in the middle of the flowers. But the thing about rules is they're made to be broken.
I can make it like my own, like I have my Batman.
My best friend had bubbles on hers, so I, copied wherever they are, the bubbles. I kind of wanted to do something that went along with me to be original. So I asked to get a pop of purple just to make it pop. I thought it looked pretty cute.
It doesn't have to be like traditional. Like everybody thinks, oh, I have to have certain colors, or like I have to be this way. You can do whatever you can literally do whatever you want and just put it on there. As long as like you like it, people are gonna like it either way.
Senior Mia Pravat went all out with a massive Hello Kitty themed mum.
I've just always liked Hello Kitty, and I was like, I have like a little one hanging in my car, and like this year my backpack is Hello Kitty and my keys. So I was like, oh, that'd be cool if I had a Hello Kitty mom.
I think it's fun, it's something different, and everyone looks excited because it's customized. So you gotta get to like walk around with like something that only you have.
We as staff, we love it. We love to see the kids engaging in the school. We have a diverse population. It's good to see kids who are not from Texas, who are not from the United States getting into it and putting their flavor into the moms.
What historically has been a pretty exclusive practice, one that's centered around a boy asking a girl out and having the means to make or buy a mom, has evolved.
Kids are really trying to figure out how to make this tradition more inclusive, which I find to be very heartwarming. And if there's anything that's being disruptive right now about the tradition, I actually think that's what it is.
Here's just one example from Cinco Ranch, where every member of the Cougar Stars dance team made mums and garters for students in the school's special education program, including senior Ella Skaggs' little brother, who has Down syndrome.
He got a garter from the Cougar Stars, and he's loving it today. Oh, he just was really excited to just be a part of it. I don't really know that he knew what a garter was or he was getting one, but he was just like, oh man, this is really fun.
It was very, very sweet. A lot of girls were crying because of how kind it was. Like there was this one little guy who was like, for me, really, and like he was so excited.
Marlo Williams made one of those garters, a project she admits seemed a little intimidating at first, but along with her mom, she got help during a visit to the Cinco Ranch High School Band Booster Mum Room.
We have everything from bears to ribbon to chains and garland, finished mums and finished garters, flowers, all sorts of stuff.
In the weeks leading up to homecoming, Heather Martin taught classes every weekend, guiding parents and students through the process.
There are so many options and so many ways to customize what you want that really the sky is open.
In the Mum Room, class participants start by shopping. They choose a mum, trinkets, ribbons, braids, and since it's for Cinco Ranch, bears.
I tell people, even in class, there's no homecoming police. There's no mum police. So you make it however you want to make it, and it will be the personalized, amazing creation that you put together. And whatever you come up with, it will be beautiful and wonderful, and you will learn a lot in the process. The last class I had this Sunday, I had a young man come in by himself, a junior, and he pulled things for himself for a garter and made his date a mum, and all by himself. And it was adorable to see him struggle through the process and not understand what the difference between curling ribbon and acetate ribbon was. Like things that I take for granted as a crafter, that I understand, and how hot glue works. And he was very cute, and it was very rewarding to see him with his finished mum at the end. I had a number of students with their parents working together, and I love that. That's so sweet to see. It's good, quality bonding time.
That's what drew first-time mum maker Delia Williams, who used to work at KHU 11, to the class, even though she was skeptical when Marlo first pitched the idea of building it on their own.
Oh goodness, can we just pay someone? Can I just write a check? Can I just give you money, please? I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. No.
Ultimately, she gave in.
Because I wanted to do something with my daughter. Because I only have 2 years left with her before she goes to college. And when else am I going to stand in a room for 2 hours and do a craft with her uninterrupted by phone? That I hold sacred. That is important to me. So we came in and we did it.
That change of heart inspired a change in perspective.
Don't make me admit it. Yes, I love it. It's so cool. It's like their little personalities just come to life, and it's not gonna die. It's not like a boutonniere or a corsage, which we all got back in the old days. It's gonna live forever in a little memory box, and maybe 20 years from now she pulls it out and goes, me and Mom did this together.
Most schools don't have a mum room. In fact, 2023 homecoming was the last one in operation for the Cinco Ranch Mum Room. But not to worry. It truly is something anyone can do. Make those memories together while making a mum.
The bought mum wasn't as special to my daughter as the one that I made, because you tell the mum maker all the things you want on it, but you know your child better than anyone else. And so when you make that for them, you can personalize it, and it's just more special giving it to them. And they appreciate it so much more because they either saw you work on it or maybe they helped you work on it, because a lot of moms and daughters will do it together.
That was exactly the motivation when Mary Brosh and Callie Murphy founded MumMoms LLC. They'd made mums for their kids. Mary has 3, Callie has 5, and eventually started selling their creations.
So last year we had more than we could do.
Right.
And I just think it just naturally was like, well, let's just teach other people how to do this. Like, it's not as hard as people think that it is. Like, it's confusing at first, but I think once you know a few basic things, it's not really that challenging. You just kind of need someone that's willing to come alongside and show you.
So Callie and Mary act as the guides in a digital course sold through their website. It starts with a questionnaire.
What are your school colors? What are the school traditions? You know, do freshmen wear school colors? Do seniors do gold and white? So there's all these different things that a person might want to know before they even begin and go shopping.
That knowledge in hand, the course provides a detailed shopping guide and then a step-by-step tutorial on how to assemble this mum.
We're giving you like the framework, but you can be as creative within that framework as you want to be. Like, you can follow this exactly to a T, and you're going to have a mum that you like at the end. Or if you want to change it up, you can change it up.
You can find supplies at just about any craft store in Texas, including those that specialize in mums.
We are at theribbonsource.com, the best little hole-in-the-wall ribbon source you can find in Houston.
Rita Wilder opened up her own store after years working in wholesale.
This was to be my retirement.
Instead, she's busier than ever, especially as schools get ready to start back up each fall.
I do the schools, the booster clubs. I sell to the mum makers that make 50, 100, 200 mums. I sell to the mom that her son just asked a girl, and they come in here to get stuff to make their own. And, you know, a variety of everybody. Welcome, come on in, come on in. They come in and go, is this all there is? They see this, and we say, oh no, come on to the back. Then they're, oh, okay.
The Ribbon Source is stacked and packed with just about anything an aspiring mum maker could dream of.
We do have where they can buy by the yard that's already cut. We do have some pre-made braids, a few of the little backings, so they can start assembling the background or the framework of their mom, and then they can continue on with that. We do try to help them, but a lot of times they have in their mind, I want the big one that you can only see my head from.
I just gotta shop for the ribbons that I need, the colors I need, looking for things that would spruce it up just a little bit, make it all shiny, and try to make mine look better than everybody else's.
Amani Flores here is getting the materials she needs to make her junior year mum.
It's sometimes a hard experience. Me personally, I tend to burn myself a lot with the hot glue.
Been there. If you'd rather skip the glue guns, you have options and order forms.
We actually start mom selling during August through October.
Kroger stores all over the state have displays like this in their floral department, serving the high schools in their neighborhood. So for example, the Cypresswood Kroger has supplies for
Cy Fair, Cy Creek, Cy Woods, and Bridgeland. So those are the colors that are represented behind us today.
The goal is to make mums accessible to families in the community. All sizes, all price points.
We do have trinkets, we have corsages, we have garters, and obviously the mums. So yes, there's a gamut of items right here. And if you look behind me, you can see all the trinkets and everything that's available for them right here.
And this is just the starting point.
Our customers are very unique and they want what they want, right? I have seen Whataburger mums. I have seen camouflage mums. This year is all about Barbie. So I'm telling you, there are Barbie customizable mums walking out this door today, right?
See, Kroger florists like McKenna at the Humble store, they are trained mum makers.
She was like, you know what? When I went to high school, I had my experience. I knew what I wanted, right? Now that I'm at a Kroger and I have all these trinkets available to me, everything. So the mums that I do are special. They really come from a good place. That's why customers flock to me. And I do my own signature on the mum, which is a Texas piece with a little diamond in the middle. That's a signature mum. So that people come, hey, can I have the McKenna special, right?
You can't talk about signature mums without mentioning the mum queen.
A little girl from Montgomery came in and ordered a mum from me, and she told me, Mrs. Cleaver, I'm going to put you on Instagram, and I'm going to call you the mum queen. And it's been that way ever since.
What was the game room of Elizabeth Cleaver's spring home is now business headquarters, where she and her staff braid, glue, and shape mums of epic proportions.
Now, I'm not the mum maker for everybody. If you come in here and you don't want bling, you don't want bows on your mums. I had a little girl came in, she didn't want this, and I looked at her and I said, honey, I am not your mum maker. You need to find someone else to do it.
Cleaver's creations are ornate, loaded with bling, sometimes the same size as the girls who wear them. The basic details are all laid out on the order form. The base, the flowers, the ribbons, the bling, the braids, the trinkets, even acrylic cutouts, bears, and bells.
You can go as big as you want, or you can go as little as you want. I'll ask you questions. You're going to pick everything out. I'm just going to make it pretty.
As you're doing the math in your head, adding everything up and wondering who could spend hundreds, sometimes more than $1,000 on a mum, I've already got your answer.
It's been a steady $400 to $500 a year, you know, and I start taking orders in February.
For some mum makers, business is seasonal. Not for Cleaver. She's already ordered ribbon for next year's homecoming season, and she plans to start making some of her trademark braids in January. Yes, trademark braids.
This is something I came up with this year. This is a queen diamond, and then I did a backwards twist and twirled it around like that. And I always include brooches on that. This is something that I invented in 2017. It's called the Liz Twist, and this is probably one of my most popular. This one's called a whip braid, and this is our newest one of the new ones. It's called a fancy bubblegum. I pretty much invented this whole bling situation here. There's rhinestones on top of there, and then there's rhinestones all along there.
Interspersed between the descriptions of her creations, Cleaver shares the stories of the girls who inspired them.
This little girl's grandfather wanted her to order this mum, and the day I finished it, her mom called and told her he had passed away. So, and he encouraged this little girl to continue on with her golf. So I'd already had this made for her, and I didn't tell her anything about this because I didn't want to ruin her homecoming. But he was the encouragement behind this mom and her, and she just got a scholarship for golf. This little girl is one of my best friend's daughters. She doesn't even know I'm doing this one. She's a sophomore, and her whole car is cow print. So she talked to me on Instagram. She wanted a cow, and she wanted a hat on her mom, and so I had my friend make the Highlander cow. So naturally he had to have a earring, and he had to have a bow on his horn. I don't usually do a theme mum, but this little girl came in. Now there's a piece that's going to go in there. It's acrylic. I'm having done, but this little guy, I had to decorate him up. I mean, and when I was making him, I didn't realize that he talked. So we just laugh about it. So she's also a senior, but she elected to do a theme mum. So I think I knocked that one out the park.
If you can't tell, as much as Cleaver loves the creativity she gets to pour into these mums, what she loves more is helping her clients get the mum of their dreams.
Oh, yes, that is the prize. That's the prize of all. When you come around that corner with their mom and see, you know, they see what they have, you know, and that up for joy.
It's what motivates Cleaver and thousands of other mum makers in the state. Yes, thousands. Amy Schultz did the math.
Wherever there's a high school that has a homecoming and has moms, there's going to be a professional mum maker in that community. And if there's a professional mum maker in that community, she has a competitor, because that's just the way it is. So what that means is there are at minimum 6,000 small businesses in the state of Texas devoted to homecoming moms.
An industry mostly of moms.
And these are superheroes in the mom world because they believe in it so much. They want everybody to, you know, dive in and have fun.
Women like Elizabeth Cleaver, like Rita Wilder, like Heather Martin, like Kelly Murphy and Mary Brosh.
I think that traditions are part of what makes a culture unique. And so I think they really believe that moms in Texas and football and family and community are inextricable. And that's why I keep using the word defender, because they really believe in what they're doing. Sure, they're making money, but more importantly, they're keeping something special alive that they believe in, and that's spirit and passion for one's community.
Mums are so enmeshed in the fabric of Texas tradition, they inspired a traveling history exhibit based on Schultz's books, which made its first stop in Grapevine this fall.
I'm hoping it will stimulate feelings of nostalgia. I'm also hoping it will stimulate conversation about traditions and Texans and what it means to keep traditions alive and yet at the same time allow them to evolve to reflect the current culture.
From the simplest crafts to the most elaborate creations, every homecoming mom is a unique expression of the individual wearing it.
A lot of hours, a lot of creativity.
It's a canvas on which students paint their school spirit, their personalities, and their memories.
You're able to see everyone's like uniqueness.
The diverse array of trinkets, colors, and designs reflect the rich tapestry of high school life with its myriad passions, interests, and personalities.
My boyfriend actually bought me this. I added this little photo.
But what's truly remarkable about homecoming moms is how they transcend individuality to become a unifying force.
It's not just about individual self-expression.
They may start as personal expressions, but they are the threads that weave our stories together, reminding us that we're all part of something bigger than ourselves.
You know, everything's bigger in Texas.
Even the flowers that in full bloom take us back to our roots, in our school, our town, and our traditions.